everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. In today's video, I am going to share with you some thrifted items that I picked up, and I'm also going to be sharing with you some DIYs that I put together with some thrifted items as well. These items were inspired by items at West Elm, CB2, Pottery Barn, and Mickey & Co. So I'm really excited to show you how they all turned out. Lastly, I also just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the love and the sweet comments that you left me on my last video of this living room renovation that I'm currently sitting in. You all loved everything and how it turned out, and you also love these curtains. These curtains I absolutely love, and they have become one of my favorite things in the room, so I'm so happy that you all loved it as well. My style is definitely not trendy. It's not your typical beige, creams, and whites. I'd say it's more eclectic and modern. I love mixing vintage pieces with more modern items, so I'm so happy that you all loved it, and I will definitely have more room makeovers for you this upcoming spring and summer season, so definitely stick around for that. All right, let's jump into today's DIY video. This first piece is a DIY of an iron accent stool. Chairs and stools at places like Mickey & Co., CB2 can be quite expensive, so I was happy that I found this similar looking accent chair at the thrift store. The shape is different from the inspo, but the overall style is quite similar. It was in pretty great shape, but I did want to modernize it. As you can see, the fabric on the cushion was discolored, so that definitely needed to be changed. I began with removing the seat, and then I took the iron base outside to spray paint it. Similar to the inspo for Mickey & Co. and CB2, I spray painted the iron piece black. While that was drying, I came back inside and removed the fabric from the seat. I was really happy to see that the cushion was in perfect condition, which meant that I did not have to replace it. After I purchased the stool from the thrift store, I went straight to Joann Fabrics to pick up material that I thought would go well with it. I really love this print, but I thought it would look better on another project. I finally saw this one and decided that this would look perfect. I used the original fabric to measure out how much of the new fabric I needed, which was 17 inches. I cut the fabric an inch larger just in case. Round seats can be pretty tricky to reupholster. The technique that I've learned over time to make the fabric smooth and to eliminate wrinkled edges is to pull the fabric tight while smoothing it out at the same time. Here I'm pulling and smoothing it out with my thumb. I cut the excess fabric off and placed the plastic back in place. I made sure to line up the holes so that I could easily screw everything back together. This is how it turned out. I love that I was able to get this look for a lot less by thrifting and doing a simple DIY. Now onto this beautiful woven basket. I love thrifting baskets and woven trays because at retail they can be extremely pricey, like these trays at Pottery Barn, which range in price from $70 to $129. There is such an abundance at the thrift store, so I always make sure to check this section whenever I visit. I found this beautiful tray for $2.49, which is quite similar in size and shape to the one at Pottery Barn. Since spring is right around the corner, I styled this with some items that I already had to add a spring flair to our dining room. The lace green doily is another recent thrift find, and I thought it would add a great accent to the tray. Now onto this trinket dish. So I have these two items, this dish here and these beads. This is actually a garland from Christmas. I purchased these a couple of years ago, and what I want to do here is take these beads off, the larger ones, and add them to the bottom as feet. And I'm also going to change the color of this dish. So let's see how this one turns out. What inspired me to make this were these pieces from Mickey & Co. I really love these round feet on each of these pieces. I removed all of the balls from the garland and used the largest sized ball on the dish. I poured some Gorilla Glue onto a piece of paper towel and dabbed the ball into the glue and placed it on the bottom of the dish. I let that completely dry for a full day and spray painted the entire thing black. This was a simple and quick DIY, and I love how it turned out. I love this monochromatic look of the black book beneath the dish. After a couple days, we decided to actually use this near the entrance of our home to hold our keys. These stained glass windows are so beautiful. They're original to when the home was built in the 1930s. I love going to high-end retail stores to find inspiration, and this past week I went to West Elm to see what they have. I don't necessarily look at the items to see if I can find an exact dupe at the thrift store, but I do take note of textures, colors, shapes, and materials when trying to find inspiration at high-end stores. These vases with the zigzag design really caught my attention. They range in price from $45 to $120 depending on the size. When I went to the thrift store that same week, I found a planter that had the same exact design as the one at West Elm. I was debating whether or not I should change the color to black or beige to match the one at West Elm, but I did decide to leave it because I do love the color. Lastly is a horse sculpture that I decided to DIY. These horse sculptures at retail can be quite expensive. I have been keeping an eye out for a horse sculpture at the thrift store, so I was happy when I found this at Savers for $7.99. As you can see, it was extremely dirty and the gold accents were coming off. The first thing I did was, of course, I had to wash everything to remove all of the dirt. Once that was all clean, I applied this burnt orange color to the base. Now, bear with me, this horse isn't going to be orange, I just use it as a base color. I like testing out different base colors on things to see how it affects the top layer, and I did notice how this color made the top layer pop. It's subtle, but I did notice. When the first coat dried, I applied a second coat. I am going to use this joint compound that I already had to add texture and a ceramic-like look to the horse. You can definitely use baking soda, but baking soda will not give you as much of a texture as the joint compound will. This tan color is one of my favorite acrylic paint colors. I'm going to use the tan and this espresso color to apply all over the horse. First, I dabbed my paintbrush into the paint, and then I added the dry joint compound. I then applied it all over the horse. I went back and forth layering on the tan and espresso color. Once that was dried, I added the dark brown paint in the creases to add more dimension and variation in color. And this is how it turned out, another simple DIY. I think it looks so much better than it originally did, and I was able to save money compared to retail prices. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of the DIYs that I shared, and I hope it gave you inspiration to upgrade some thrifted items or home decor pieces that you already have. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below. I will see you in the next one. Bye.